Hey guys, welcome back. This is a Project Life week 31. Today I am going to work with the new release from Kellie Stamps. So I have the Details stamp set, and I'm also going to use a little bit of the National Day stamp set, but mostly that Details one. And so to create my page, I've just dived into my scrap bin basically. In my little scrap bin there up there, you can see, apart from all the other sort of scrap bits of paper, I have this pile of 3x4 pieces and 4x6 pieces. So basically when I'm finished working with the paper and I'm putting it in my scrap bin, I try to trim it down to a usable size, and it kind of just saves me having to do that later on, and it gives me the opportunity to use them for things like this. So it's just a pile of scrap paper. It's not necessarily cards. It's from all different places, all different collections, all sorts of things. So that's what I'm using. I'm just going through both sizes. I went through the 3x4s first, which, as you can see, it took a little bit of time because there is so much in there. I probably need to have a dig through that scrap bin again and just pull out things that I think I won't use again. But otherwise, I'm getting there. I've got some 4x6 pieces. There's not as many 4x6s in there as there are 3x4s. I don't tend to have a lot of 4x6 scraps left over. And so I've picked out a couple, but I didn't really have any that I thought was going to work nicely for sort of a title card. So elsewhere in the room, I have 4x6 and 3x4 journaling cards, and mixed into those journaling cards is also some sort of pattern paper. Studio Calico used to do 4x6 pattern paper pads, so there's all sorts of patterned papers in there. Oh my god, how many times I'm going to say that today, as well as actual journaling cards. So I did go and pull those out just because I was a little bit lacking with the 4x6 scraps there. Now, the first one I've pulled out down the bottom is that yellow and white one. I'm pretty sure that was an Ellie Edwards one. I thought the yellow worked perfectly with my daffodil photo there, and I'm kind of going to rely heavily on pink and yellow. And then I pulled out that journaling card with all the triangles on it. The colours couldn't have been more perfect for this spread, so I decided, yep, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go pink and yellow sort of heavily on here, which means that teal camera one paper there doesn't really suit anymore, so I swapped that out for another pink one just to kind of keep things consistent. I thought the teal paper worked nicely because I had a bit, like, there's a little pop of teal in my coffee photo, but I'm going to leave it as that, as just a little pop, rather than playing that up with the actual paper and just go back to pink. I think having a sort of fairly consistent color scheme like this also helps those photos stand out. There's a lot of sort of neutral photos with those pops of color, and I think that really helps. Now, my 4x6 photos this week are going to be super easy. I've got my usual sunrise photo. It's been a while since I've taken one of those, so I'm just stamping the word today off on just straight onto the photo. Down here though, on my 4x6, I've got a grid of photos because we went and saw Jack and Tracy for the weekend. I was never going to fit all of those photos onto one spread of Project Life, so I created a little photo grid for myself. I also have another little mini book with my photos from them, so it's fine to have this all on one grid. I did want to stamp weekend on there, so there's 3 larger words on that stamp set, and I want to use all 3 of them. So weekend stamped onto that photo grid was never going to stand out, so I just popped a label on there. Those are just printable labels that I made myself, and stamped the word on there. It fit perfectly onto that label. It couldn't have been more meant to be, I think. And here we go. I'm going to use the last one here for my journaling card. So this 3x4 card had a little bit of the sort of branding strip barcode kind of details at the top, so I just covered it up with a little bit of pattern paper and then stamped my details stamp, and then I've gone away and I've done some journaling, probably more journaling than you're used to seeing me on here. So I've kind of journaled generally about the week on my 3x4 card, and then I filled in that gap on the 4x6 down the bottom there with just a little bit more specific journaling, I guess, about the actual photo. Now, I've gone to use these larger number stamps from Kellie Stamps. I haven't used them a lot, or I haven't used them lately, and so I'm glad I did check actually how like dense the stamp was going to be, because it was very splotchy. So I went ahead and just primed that with my sand eraser. It's a great trick. You can see the difference I get there between non-primed and primed. It really does make a huge difference. So I did that to both the 3 and the 1. I know that I've definitely used these stamps before. They have not been used in a long time though, so it doesn't hurt to just give it another little swipe over just to get that ink nice and dark. For the rest of my title card, for the actual title, I'm going to use the Rose Avenue Alpha from Kellie Stamps. This is a great alpha and it is still available in store at the moment. There aren't many alpha stamps at Kellie Stamps at the moment. This is one of them and it is a really great one. I will leave a discount code for you guys down in the description box. You can get 10% off your order of $15 or more at Kellie Stamps, so don't forget to pop over there, use the code and save yourself a little bit of money. This is going to be a super like minimal title card because I really love the kind of base card just with the graphic stamping on there. I do, however, want to put like a date, my dates on here, and I'm going to use a label for that. I had just noticed that there was one black one sitting here in this jar, so I'm going to use the black one just so that it stands off the background a little bit. Just couldn't quite work out where I wanted to put it, whether I wanted to overhang the edge of the card or not, and I decided not to in the end, so I've just sort of tucked it there underneath the numbers, and I'm going to add my date stamping. Now, it was looking a little odd to me that I've got 2 labels in here. I really want to add a third. Just, you know, rule of thirds, rule of threes, I guess. It looks odd that there wasn't one. So I'm going to pop one on my photo on the right hand side. Gives me that little triangle as well. So it's going to make it a lot more balanced. I just couldn't work out what color label to use. I kind of wanted to keep that same shape with the kind of cut off corners there, but I felt like the pink ones weren't standing out enough off the actual pink background. But I didn't want to add black. I debated about adding this kind of, it's more blue than teal, and in the end I've gone for it. It felt weird that I was deviating from that color scheme, but actually adding that little pop of a different color kind of ties in the coffee photo. I mean, there's green in my daffodil photo. It just kind of stops it from becoming too themey, I think. Now, on my little label here, I'm just going to stack a couple of these tinier words. There's a whole bunch of words in there. This is one of those stamp sets. It's super versatile. You'll be able to use all sorts of layouts. I'm going to stack a couple of them. Just one that says yes and one that says cheers to this, because it was a delicious breakfast, I will tell you. So that's it. I've got one more card that I want to add something to. So I was just checking whether I could peel that photo off. I have already adhered it down. Luckily that tape runner isn't that good, so it peeled off no problem. And I'm going to do some repeat stamping on here. I've been loving repeat stamping at the moment, so I'm going to add a little bit on here. This is from that National Day stamp set, the little coffee mug, well, takeaway coffee mug icon, and I'm just going to repeat stamp that tone on tone onto the pattern paper. So you don't have to repeat stamp onto plain cardstock. It works just as well on pattern paper. You kind of get that double pattern effect. I really like it. You can use sort of a contrasting colored ink, but I really prefer this tone on tone look. And so the stamping I was doing was so bad, guys. I kept missing it. I didn't stamp it flat nearly any of the time. And so I'm just going to carry on. What I am doing though is, because my stamping was a little bit haphazard to start with, I decided to just kind of embrace that. And so as I'm stamping these little coffee mugs, I'm slightly rotating the block a little bit, so none of them are straight. They're all a little bit wonky, and then it looks like I've done it on purpose. Now, obviously I'm going to stick a huge photo on here, so I don't need to stamp all the way up the card. I've stamped enough of the bottom that that's what you're going to see, and then I'm just stamping around the edges, and then I can go ahead and re-adhere my photo back down. I'm going to add another one of those tiny little words onto my photo, this time directly onto my photo using my Memento Tuxedo black ink. Just a tiny little hello in the corner, because I'm always happy to see another coffee on my desk. And that's it. This is my spread all done. Pretty simple this week, and I really love the color scheme. It's definitely feeling a little bit springier around here, and that totally reflects it. Don't forget to check out that discount code if you're heading over to the Kellie Stamps store. I will leave all the details for you down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.